Okay, so if you're watching this video, you're most likely doing DECA role plays. When you do DECA role plays, you have to look at some of the performance indicators, just like these ones here. Now what I do is I put them all down on a list. So there's 5 performance indicators. I just put 1 through 4, 5 on my paper. And instead of writing these down on my piece of paper, I break them down into pretty much what it's saying. So I circle the main words, and that's what I write on my paper. In this case, advantages, disadvantages, different sectors. Those are the only things I write on my paper. Promotional plan. That's the other thing I write on my paper. The next one, communication channels. I'll go ahead and write that down. Technology. So I take the big words that stand out. And finally, this last one, market and market identification. So I'm taking the big words and I'm just putting them down on a sheet of paper, 1 through 5. So for 1, I'd have advantages, disadvantages, different sectors, and all the way through. And then on 5, I'll do market and market identification. So I'm just putting the keywords so I don't get flustered with all that extra stuff. So let me go ahead and demo real quick. Go ahead and hit pause. Okay, first of all, I would like to thank you for meeting with me today. Today we're going to talk about various different things. The first thing I want to discuss for our company, Browsers, is I want to make sure that we talk about the advantages and disadvantages of going into different sectors. I also want to make sure that we have an excellent promotional plan in place and why it's going to be important for us. I want to make sure that I also cover the different communication channels that we can utilize and how we could also use technology to the best of our advantage, and lastly, how we can target our current market and identify new markets for our organization. I'm going to go ahead and sit down. So first things first, we got to look at the advantages of pop-up stores. That's what we're trying to do with those organizations. The greatest advantage of it is that we can target new areas and see what are some new markets for our organization. That's the greatest advantage of it thus far. The disadvantage is that every time we go to a new store and set up a pop-up store for 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even a month, is that we're going to have to advertise every single time. And if we don't have proper advertising, it's going to be an issue. Not many people are going to show up, and then we're not going to really gauge just how well it's going to do. Therefore, we have to have a promotional plan. That's why a promotional plan is important. That's why we need it. Promotional plan is how we're going to get the word out about our product. The biggest one and the cheapest one is social media. We can easily do a Facebook page where we can start promoting, letting people know in the area, hey, we are going to do this new company that's going to come in for the next 2 weeks. Come check us out and see if you like us. We could also utilize Twitter. Twitter's much more quicker, much more fast-paced. And lastly, we could also go with Instagram. Get the pictures out there of our organization so people can see firsthand what we look like. Lastly, we got to go through all the other communication channels. So we have social media, but we can also, of course, go to the traditional route, use billboards and print ads to let people know, hey, for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be in town, come check us out. So those are the other communication channels that we can definitely take advantage of. And as mentioned before, technology, we're going to be using that with the social media. So technology is going to be very big in making sure we promote our social media. Lastly, our current market. We have a current market already. We currently go after the sophisticated, that's fine, fan and dandy that wants some really good products. But now we can see if we could possibly go after a new market. And that's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be trying to identify a new market for our product every time we go to these new locations. And that's why this whole concept is going to be interesting, because we're going to be able to see what other markets we can currently target. With these ideas that I brought into place, I believe that we can definitely do a really great job with promoting these pop-up stores throughout the nation. And so we have to take a look at the advantages and disadvantages and focus more on how we can build up those disadvantages to the point where it's no longer an issue. And our biggest disadvantage, as I said, was the promotion. But if we have a really good promotion plan that utilizes technology and emphasizes all the different communication channels that we can have out there, we're going to be more successful. And there is one other communication channel that I completely forgot about, and I got to throw this in there. We have to use people. We got to have people down in the streets trying to get people, pull people from other stores to come to our location. We got to have people going on different streets and letting them know, hey, check out this location right over here. This location is brand new. Come on in. You can try this location at any point in time, but this other pop-up store is only going to be here for a few days. So come check it out. And so we have to have people on foot going around trying to get people to come to our location. So if you have any questions at this time, please let me know. And you can end it.